Hello, welcome to the Anchorage Alaska podcast. Today we'll be talking and looking into the rapid increase of police shooting in Anchorage, Alaska. Anchorage, Alaska is known to be a small community and diverse community full of peace and love, but in the past 10 years there has been an increase of crime rates rising to the roof. But lately there have been a very rapid increase of police shootings. In the span of 3 months there have been more than 5 police shootings and 4 of them have been fatal. On June 1st, 2024 at 2:26 a.m. just before bar break, you can see in footage a man got into an altercation with another man and one of the men raised his arm in as surveillance shows and shot at the other guy before running away in the parking lot. 10 seconds after that you can see APD police officers chasing after him, and seconds after that 2 officers shot down the man that was running. The man that was shot is believed to be a murder suspect in a different case. As far as the body cam footage that was released on this case, one of the officers' body cam wasn't working properly, says the news and the APD department, and when they was asked about that, they have no answer for the public, as in now. As seen in the footage, 2 individuals got into an altercation which results in one man raising his handgun and shooting at the other man 6 times. Footage caught on surveillance shows people running seconds before a man is seen limping, going to the front of the gas light, where you can see a group of women accompanied by 2 APD officers surrounding him and stopping him.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we have more details from the report that says 2 Anchorage police officers were justified when they shot a 22-year-old man in downtown Anchorage last month.
Mike, according to the state's review, the Attorney General's findings are based on surveillance video from surrounding businesses as well as police body camera footage. The only thing still unclear is why one of the responding officers' body cameras was malfunctioning at the time of the incident.
Detectives have begun reviewing hundreds of video to include in-car video, body-worn camera video, surveillance cameras, traffic cameras, and private cell phone video.
It was that same video that the state relied on to find APD officers Parker Boydston and Jordan Varick clear of any wrongdoing during the early morning hours of June 1st when they fired their weapons, shooting Caleb Bordakovsky. 11-page letter sent to APD Chief Sean Case. The state outlined the details when Bordakovsky was shot by the 2 APD officers after ignoring commands to drop his weapon. Footage shows Bordakovsky soon after pulling a pistol and firing it repeatedly at Joe before the video abruptly ends. In response to the sound of gunshots, police responded and Bordakovsky is seen on Officer Boydston's body camera raising his arms while running from officers towards G Street with the gun still in his hand. At 2:27 a.m., both officers are seen on Boydston's body camera discharging their weapons.
The man was later charged for murder in the first and second degree for the killing of another man in a different case.
For the killing of Joe and for wounding Dominic Santillana. What remains unknown is why Officer Varick's camera was not working properly. In the state's document, it says Officer Varick was also equipped with an APD-issued body camera. However, the quality is noticeably lower than that of Officer Boydston's footage.
On May 13, 2024, on the 7100 block of Barefoot, around 2:30 in the morning, APD officers were called by a man's fiancée who was concerned about his well-being and his sudden change of behavior. When police arrived, they began giving the man commands. Footage caught on surveillance shows a man coming out of the house with no shirt on, holding a shotgun. Seconds before APD officers shot and killed him. The APD's second chief in command gave a speech saying that the man raised his gun, but the witnesses at the scene said the man never raised his gun, and so was seen in the surveillance footage.
This is body-worn camera footage released by Anchorage Police on July 31st, 2024, of the deadly May shooting of Christopher Handy. While it is video from the body-worn cameras of police officers, it was edited prior to its release.
You actually get a feel for the moment, the same feel the officers had, whereas the edited and persuasive version they initially released really made it feel like they were in a war zone.
Police Chief Sean Case answered for the decision to release the footage now.
About a week and a half ago, I did an interview with the Anchorage Daily News where I indicated that we would be releasing that footage on a particular time. And then later I gave them the date of this Thursday. And so that date was already pre-scheduled and pre-planned. And so I wanted to make sure that we held true to that commitment.
They had not wanted to release this footage, and now all of a sudden they do right after an officer uses lethal force against a 16-year-old. It doesn't make any sense to be anything else. They are using the Chris Handy case as an opportunity to deflect attention away from the fact that they murdered a child. And it's disgusting, it's inappropriate.
On August 14, 2024, officers were called to the 4800 block of East 43rd Avenue concerning a family issue. On arrival of APD, the family members were separated from the 16-year-old girl, who is said to be sitting on a set of staircases. APD began to give her commands. From what APD said, she didn't obey their commands. When the little girl opened her blanket and made the slightest step forward, she was gunned down by APD officers.
Officer-involved shooting of 16-year-old Easter Lifa.
This innocent child was killed by APD officers when all the family members wanted was help. This case involved a 51-year-old man walking around with a shotgun, pointing it at a man sitting at a Circle K gas station.
His 51-year-old Damian Dollison pointed a shotgun at another man who was sitting in a parked vehicle at the gas station.
It had been said by APD officers that both men were armed at this moment. The man with the shotgun went into the store with the shotgun and got the clerks very uncomfortable. The clerk then decided to call APD and inform them about the matters and that shots were fired.
The clerk called police.
He heard and reported to dispatch that there was one shot fired from a shotgun. And so as the officers arrived on scene, that's the basic information that they had.
The surveillance footage showed a 51-year-old minutes before police arrived, waving the gun around in the parking lot. When the police arrived at the scene, a single shot was fired from the shotgun, which then the police officers returned fires, hitting him at least twice.
A round was fired from the shotgun, and officers returned fire, striking him at least twice. At least that's what we know at this point in time, is striking him twice.
But evidence at the scene shows that there were several shell casings found at the scene of the crime. Okay, lately there have been a very much increase in the police shootings, and for the most been known, this haven't been a thing that's been very common in Anchorage, Alaska. It's been very peaceful, and our police haven't been very brutal like we normally see in the lower 48s and other states. But lately, even not from the police, but from the people, there have been a lot of shootings that have occurred in the Anchorage area and district, and that have been a problem lately. This have struck up a lot of worries in the community, because now the community leaders are even standing up. Even the assembly have been having meetings to see what they're gonna do. And about the police, there have been a new rule in Anchorage now that have been signed by the police department or the council, that it's gonna take 45 days after a crime for the police department to release the body count. Some cases might take up to 30 days, but for the main, as we know, it will take up to 45 days for them to release body count. And for most things, everybody in the town is mad because of the 16-year-old that was shot and killed. The little girl was shot and taken away from his family at a young age. She just moved up to Anchorage, Alaska in less than 6 months, and her life was taken away from her.